got that dog in me. I do.
Whatzfit YouTube, welcome to my YouTube channel Whatzfit, and we're back with another interview, but this one here is different. But before we get into anything, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button because I know you'll love this one. So Penash Jones, if you're not familiar with the man himself, he has left an imprint within Minnesota's fashion and entertainment sector. So I spoke to him. I needed to know why and what was going on, starting from the beginning of his creativity and understanding the reasoning behind his exotic fashion shows, including the celebrities that surround his work. So I'm sure just from the title and thumbnail, you know you're in for a big one. But go ahead and subscribe to Whatzfit for more interviews and like away. Let's get talking.
Tell me history of Penash, how we started there.
Well, you know, this all stemmed from my mother. My mama, she's a fashion designer. She's a hairstylist. She's an artist. I just really wanted to be my mom. You know what I'm saying? You know, growing up without a father, I wanted to be her. She's my best friend. She was everything that I ever wanted to be, you know what I'm saying? Because she was like super dope. Oh, she's still alive too, so y'all forgive me if I talk about her like she ain't here. It's just the praise and the glory that I'm gonna give her and how I honor her, you know, about how I talk about her. But yeah, this really started with her. But just the designing part, or it started from art. I didn't have an airbrush kit back then when it was spray painting on the clothes.
Okay, so you didn't have like the regular artistic...
Yeah, like the necessaries, yeah. So I got the permanent markers.
Okay.
My drawings came from the funny papers, the Sunday paper, the comics. I drew out the comics and put it on your clothes because I didn't have, you know, access to the Disney or whatever everybody else was doing. That's where the designing came in at back then. It was my art, it was with design. But it was my mama, how she challenged me. You know, my mama challenged me to keep taking my art to a new level, to keep creating. So it went from drawing on paper, drawing on clothes, wanting to be a cartoonist, wanting to be a sculptor, into wanting to be a fashion designer. It's just really stemmed from not having nothing.
Yep.
Like, talking about not having nothing. I'm talking about, you know, not saying my mother couldn't provide or whatever, but, you know, where I come from is a different place. You know, I ain't really have the things everybody else had. So I wanted to become more.
Yep, and in a way such, not having much, you know, you as a creative, you're creating things just to have stuff, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Possession-wise, you know, just to call it as yours.
You better believe it.
Coming from a background like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, well, coming into adulthood, I was always ahead of my time, you know, with fashion. I remember seeing French Montana and Rick Ross have the leather shirts, you know.
Okay.
I had did that already, like years ago. I've been wearing fur coats and Maury gaiters and all the time as a young boy.
Prior to.
Yeah, like I always been fly, but I didn't come in the world like that, you know what I'm saying? So even like I said, from not having nothing to wanting something, to finally getting it, this why we're here today. The fashion came from me wanting people to see how my mind worked. I'll say that. You know, for me wanting people to understand that, well, our people too, understanding that there are more things to do than just to want something. Like, we can create anything that we want. So that's why I started designing. I started designing because I had to give, you know, my beautiful mind to the world.
Interesting. So, as you're journeying through a designer, how did you learn these skills that you have today, or these tactics? Were you taught? Or did you go? You watch a lot of YouTube, or how did you learn how to design and cut and sew as you do today?
Well, my mother, she's a seamstress.
Okay.
So she showed me how to hand sew. That was my first garment that I made. The inauguration is when I started for Obama. So that's when I started, you know, as a fashion designer. So it came from hand sewing. She showed me that. But I went away on this vacation one time to college, the university, of the School of Hard Knocks.
Okay.
And I worked for the government making mail bags. So that's when I learned how to sew for real, because I was using different kind of machines that I've never seen. So yeah, that's how I learned how to sew for real.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So now I want to move on to your, the designs of Penash, the custom leather patches. You found a need in the market, and especially in Minnesota, for high clientele people, people from all demographics, young to old. On your Instagram, you have children wearing your clothing, Gen Z wearing your clothing, older adults wearing your clothing. So reaching out to a bigger demographic and public influences. How is their personal connection with the brand Penash itself within the years to follow, as you're not just a, everyday, I would say, everyday salesman. You have more personal clients and personal custom attire, specifically speaking, to make for these clients that you have. Tell me about that. How does your business work with different individuals in this market, different consumers?
Well, to go back to the first part of the question, it's about like, designing that kind of, those kind of moves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk my way too, y'all. I'm not gonna conform. I'm gonna talk like Penash talk. But I seen that our people was really like head over heels over Louis and Gucci and Goya, and I had the history on them already. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna challenge people. Don't tell me nothing about designer if you haven't seen the other side of Louis Vuitton. I want y'all to lock in on that. Have you ever seen the other side of Louis Vuitton? So just tapping into how I made it or how I conduct the business. It didn't come in on a personal level. It just came in as word to mouth, and they fell head over heels for me.
Mm-hmm.
The Philando Castile jacket. Well, let me go back before that. It's a sister here named Courtney Love on Facebook. She the one who blew me up for real. She got a T-shirt dress with the silk scarf that I made into a bandana, with the patches on it. You know what I'm saying? Her child's father passed away. She was the one who did it though.
Mm-hmm.
She got she went viral. I'm telling you, she went viral. I didn't even have a Facebook at that time. She went viral. That's what blew me up here. Then I did the Philando Castile jackets for his mom and his sister, and then.
Oh, so those Philando Castile jackets were personally made for the family of Philando Castile.
Yeah. I never make nothing just to make it. Yeah. I haven't never made anything to make it. I'm not making things looking to sell them. Everything is made to order. Everything is, a phone call. Everything is a consultation. Mm-hmm. Hey, I need this. I want this. Can you do that? Mm-hmm. So yeah, absolutely.
And referring to those clientele that you had in those personal personal jackets you made, how does that resonate with you? Like making these, how does your creativity, where does it start from to make these jackets, and your inspiration as a creative making these personal jackets for big names like for Philando Castile and his family?
I do a deep dive. I dive into the character of the person who they want me to make it, of, and then who I'm making it for, to understand the story of if it was a tragedy of whatever happened, so I can make it that personal. So I can find out that Philando Castile loved video games, or I can find out that that he loved the French 12s, I think. I don't even know what the Jordans is, y'all don't beat me. But I'm for real, but like the French 12s, them his moves, and I never knew none of these things. So that's what I do. I do a deep dive, and then I go a little personal. I sit there and talk to him. So I freehand draw everything you've ever seen me make. You give me the picture, I got my iPad, boom, and I draw
cool.
it.
So you're also an artist with the pencil and pen.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is how this happens.
Yep. You said you talked about the Sharpies and permanent markers. So.
Boom. Yeah. Oh, Yes, I'm an artist also.
Interesting.
Absolutely. So, you know, I freehand draw it,
Mm-hmm.
but when I'm drawing it, I talk to them. Let them know how well that I will represent them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let them know that I won't fail and bring in some sense of, it's like I don't want to use the word closure, but the clients
Emotional.
used it though.
Yeah, it hit them.
Yeah, they let me know, like, you brought me closure,
Yep.
Just, you didn't ask the question, but I want to touch on something. So I started with embroidered patches,
Mm-hmm.
right? The embroidered patches is all stitching, it's all thread. But that's where it come from, me transforming someone's face into that, right? Freehand drawing that, turning into that. So to beat a flat t-shirt with a pitch on it, you close your eyes, you don't feel anything. You close your eyes on the embroidered patch, you start to feel something.
Yep.
I went further. That's when I came with the leather patch, with the Louis, the Gucci, the Goyard, the snakeskin, the crocodile. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I came with that, because now it's 3D. Now, if a client closes their eyes with this piece, they can actually feel the contours of the eyebrow, the eyes, the nose, everything, how it was shaped. Even if they got, a dent, a blemish, something in their face, maybe a scar, I'm gonna put it in the patch.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be able to, have their people present with them more so than they've been before. I'll say that.
That's great, and having them connect with them on a sensational level, not just emotional, but sensational also, factoring in, getting into their senses.
Absolutely.
That's really great. We'll move on to a few creations that you had. I have a few videos to show you, and we'll get to it.
Okay.
So with your custom leather patches, you made a sweatshirt for a local artist with Captain Rebel. You made a sweatshirt with a local artist, Captain Rebel, for Money Bagg Yo, and this was in what year? If you remember?
I don't know.
This was
what was it? 21? I don't know.
21, 19 area. But I have a couple of photos to show you actually.
Okay.
And a video that you can watch while we
Okay.
check out those. You can swipe a few over too.
Oh, wow.
That's the sweatshirt that you made with Captain Rebel. And it was a collaboration because you made that the white custom patchwork on there also. Can you tell me a little bit about that collaboration? How did it play out, and how did you reach out to a big artist like that that's known universally?
Well, shout out to Spencer Puckett. Spencer's a Minneapolis native. Spencer owns Captain Rebel. Spencer's the only brand that I've ever collaborated with here in Minnesota, period. He just, he was creating this big zip hoodie with a zipper that's like this big on it. It's the first of its kind. And, he wanted to do a crazy collaboration. Like, Spencer's like DJ Khaled. So he know how to grab, from wherever you need to grab it from for the art, and to make sure that it's, that it's dope as, he's imagining it to be. So yeah, he just called me like, bro, I need you to put some moves on a lot of these hoodies. And we just got through doing the jacket like a year before that. I did the Captain Rebel jacket while I hung the Ku Klux Klan.
Mm-hmm. I see the big zipper on there too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I thought to go there again. We just came out of civil unrest, as we will always keep coming out of it and going into it. The whole nation was hurting at that moment. I needed to express myself artistically also, without saying something, because politics is very different for us as artists. So that's why I chose what I chose for the hoodie.
That's great.
And I put it in Gucci because Gucci just had blackface dials and all that. Our people didn't want to wear Gucci, stopped wearing Gucci. So I put the Gucci garment as the cloak on the Klans member.
Yep.
And hung him with a Gucci rope.
Okay. Interesting.
It's just art.
It's fire. And hearing, what goes behind it, that's why we're talking today, to really understand that it's just not being stuck. It's just not things being put together. There's meaning behind it. There's work behind it and experience also.
Absolutely. And the whole Money Bagg Yo thing, that wasn't my play at all.
Okay.
Yeah. And shout out to Exclusive Game in Atlanta. It happened at his store. So
So he went in, he saw it, just like this.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I wasn't there. Yeah, I wasn't there. I just know that we made it. It happened, and probably a year later is when we posted it. Like we held off on it and everything like for a whole year. But yeah, that's that.
That's cool. That's cool. It's great to hear. And we'll move on to another question. Speaking in terms of brand awareness and getting yourself out there as a Penash, the brand, how by personalizing your, tell me how important it is for a designer to get their clothes to the public any way they can, in order to gain consistent sales or even increase their general sales as a businessman, entrepreneur, designer.
It's absolutely important. It's sad to say, and I'm gonna say this because we're absolutely in a state that needs to hear this. We're in Minnesota right now, y'all. I'm in downtown Minneapolis doing an interview at our offices, but Minnesota won't market nothing. Minnesota won't promote nothing. So it's very important for you to get your brand out there any way you can. I need you to do it at all costs. By all means, put it on everybody, talk to everybody, shake some hands, hug some people, go see the babies, go give it away to the old folks. Please, I want to tell y'all all the ways to market this, but he asked the question, so I need to answer the question. So yeah, it's very important for you to get yourself. It's so imperative, and by all means necessary that you need to get yourself out there as a clothing line, brand, entrepreneur, artist, or a fashion designer. Please do.
And can you go into depth about the ways to do that? I think you said you wanted to talk about it, and this is also your documentary too, and, video for you also. So,
gotcha.
Anything you want to cover, anything you want to talk about,
gotcha.
Just go ahead.
I mean,
you have any?
I'll say this right here. All of these social platforms are free. We have to stop being lazy. We have to use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, whatever it may be that you got a hold of. Use it. Word of mouth, make some flyers. Ain't nothing wrong with hand-to-hand, door-to-door. If you're going to hustle. That's what this is really all about. I thought you was trying to feed your family and gain generational wealth. You're only going to do it if you go out there and get it. It's not going to happen for you if you think you popping or you busting because your homie and them know you. You can't be the best kept secret. Not no more. I was never going to let y'all see my face. I really didn't even care for it. I knew that I needed y'all to respect what I did. So I marketed myself that way. I marketed myself so you could never see me, so you could never hear me. But then years later, I knew you needed to see me because of the impact that I was having on the culture. I knew you needed to know that I looked like you, that I came from what you came from. So yeah, it's very important, man. The best advice I can give you on that is to come to one of my casting calls. You feel me? I'm just saying, like, you want to know how to market your situation? It ain't gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you some time. I got a new thing going on here that helps us do all those things. We won't never leave the timeline. Not ever. House Day Penash won't leave the timeline. We here to stay. Every day you open up Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, no matter if we've been tagged or not, you will see us. You will see my fashion shows. You will see my garments. You will see something that I got my hand in. That's what this is about. She told like I could jump anywhere. Now you mess with my mind. I'm for real because that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Like,
Like,
we're gonna move that in that direction.
go ahead.
So, just being in the spotlight of Minneapolis creatives, I think you just went to one of those events where it was you were invited to a I think it was, I don't know who exactly was hosted by, but you were there with a lot of Minneapolis creatives. And,
oh, you saying that?
Yeah, I saw that. Which event was that? It was like last week.
Yeah, that was at Millie's Pub. It was a art and like for the collectives, like
Yep.
for the leaders of art.
Yes.
I mean
and facilitators.
Yeah, and the facilitators and the leaders. I mean,
Yep.
like who like of arts and culture who really run, you know, the whole state. You know, starting with Minneapolis on arts and culture. Yeah, Jeff definitely was in that building.
Yes.
I was invited by Ben Johnson.
Yep.
This is what we need. You know, we won't see what we need until somebody show it to us because we're not looking for it. You know, we always asking, where's the grant money or where's the this or can somebody help me with that? If you're not going out there to get it, you'll never find it. I never thought I'd end up in those rooms, but I came to be in those rooms. I came to make sure that they know we're here. They know we're here as a culture, and especially House de Penash. They got to know that my company is here to stay, that I'm very important to the fabric of this culture, and that I came to give Minnesota a new culture through fashion, through the arts, in a way that it hasn't happened thus far.
Yep. You know, even being in the scene, you know, you can definitely see that you're doing things a lot differently than a lot of creators out here, which just makes you stand out in many ways. And, you know, having consistent people come in to your model calls, to your shows, you know, shows are very, very, it's very prominent that you're very consistent with what you do. But being in the spotlight as a Minneapolis creative, what are some challenges as a Black designer looking to inspire others in Minnesota?
Challenges? You're gonna have challenges, period. It's gonna be obstacles, you know, put in your way. It's gonna be the devil gonna come outside because you came outside to do something so great, something so positive that all of the evil is gonna come outside and try to stop you. All of the evil people will come outside and try to stop you. So you're gonna be faced with a lot of challenges. It's gonna be a lot of diversity, no matter if it comes from other artists, creatives, or if it comes from people that look like you or people that don't. You know, just remain focused, man. Stay diligent. Don't let up on your path, because I won't let up.
And I wanted to get into another artist that wore your clothing. Panamera Pucci was wearing the custom Virgil Abloh tribute varsity jacket. I'm sure many of us want to see. And here's the video also that was on your Instagram.
Yeah.
He was wearing that, and was that a personal connection? Was that through somebody else? How did that collaboration?
Well, we can go back. I did a fashion show at the Whim. I think that was 21. Yeah, that was 21. I think that was 21 or 22. I did a fashion show at the Whim, and it's a designer named Demna. Demna works with Kanye West.
Demna for Balenciaga?
Exactly.
Demna Gillespie or something?
There we go. So
he was
Demna,
out there with you?
No, watch this. I'm gonna show you something.
Okay.
Just give you some correlation. So that same year that me and Pucci connected for this fashion show, later on, that was in April, later on in August, I seen Demna cover all the models with masks on the runway. They did the stock exchange, but I had already did it 4 months beforehand. So that's when me and Pucci, you know, jumped down, you know, on the fashion show. I knew him before then, though. He was a client already.
Okay.
He's bought plenty of jackets already. But, you know, that show, like, was the start of everything with me and Pucci in fashion, you know, as far as, like, showing him to the world, you know. But the Virgil Abloh jacket, that came from a fashion show,
Okay.
and he bought it.
Oh, so he was a attendee at the fashion show.
Yeah. He seen it. He was like, I need that, bro. Let me get that. Yeah. And it happened that night too, at that show that I was talking about, when I covered his face up with a mask and the other models or whatever. He bought 3 jackets on the floor that night.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So you had a few jackets so given to him then.
Oh yeah, and I sold my Bored Ape jacket. I really want to disclose it. I really want to tell y'all how much. It was crazy though. It was crazy. A lot of thousands though.
Bored Ape, that was the NFT?
Yeah, word up.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll have to check that out.
Yeah, with the lamb skin and all that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was lamb skin, Louis Vuitton. The bag I cut up is Louis Vuitton psychedelic. Louis Vuitton. Yeah, some Virgil. I always use Virgil. Rest in peace, Virgil.
Yeah, big tribute
Yeah.
to him because I used to have the jacket for him too.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think we talked about the Nipsey Hussle jacket.
Mm.
I think we need to get into that before anything because that's a huge one for the music community and even fashion community as a whole.
Absolutely.
So tell me about the Nipsey Hussle jacket that you made. What was the was that just a tribute? Was that a personal? That was a client gift.
That was a client.
Custom made.
Right after Nip passed, the day after he passed, well, it was like 2 days after he passed, and they was saying like the funeral was gonna be in LA or something. My client, his name DZ. DZ does it. He's from St. Paul. He got Cars Back to Life LLC. I got a lockout, need a flat change, need a new key for your car. Get with the boy. Cars Back to Life LLC. DZ is his name. He say, man, bro, I need a Nipsey jacket, bro. I'm taking it to the funeral. Don't do me like that, man. Come on, man. Like, it's definitely an honor. But now I have to actually make this jacket in 4 to 5 days.
And it's gotta be up there too.
Oh yeah, the price is crazy. The price is insane. My pieces take 3 to 6 months. So to get something in a week.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I really
time wasted.
Yeah, I want to disclose, but I can't. That was that man money. But he took the jacket to the funeral, bro. I finished it. I got it done.
Did he take any pictures of it?
Oh yes,
okay,
they there. With Cowboy. Nipsey friend, Cowboy. The dude with the cowboy hat, Nipsey homie, who was there when he got shot.
Oh really?
He took pictures with him.
Oh, I'm gonna have to put
He took pictures on top of the Randy's Donuts across the street. He even put the jacket on top of Nipsey's hearse for the 25-mile ride. You ain't see the video on my page? Bro.
Yeah, we need those videos though.
Yeah.
We gotta put this together, make it look real good.
Absolutely.
A-roll, so
Gotcha.
we don't need all of that. We gonna look through that.
Yeah.
That's great. I wanted to touch base on that.
Oh wait, let's go further.
Yeah.
Let's go further with this Nipsey jacket though, because I have to. So Deshaun Jackson.
Who is Deshaun Jackson?
He's a football player. I don't know who he played for right now. And excuse me, y'all, I'm not into sports. But Deshaun Jackson did a NFL, like some kind of documentary with Snoop Dogg. And my jacket was on there too. And then the Super Bowl last year, my jacket was on the commercial for the Super Bowl. The Nipsey jacket.
We got content for that too.
We got content for that. So that Nipsey jacket made his rounds.
It made his rounds for real.
Yeah, that one, it really made his rounds.
Yeah, that's the one that stands out to a lot of people, to be honest. Even as me, even as somebody was looking through your profile before, even having it as your profile picture, it made his rounds for real. And even hearing it, it's just like, wow, that's great though. That's great. Big tribute.
For sure. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle.
Wanted to move on to the advice that you have for designers struggling to gain attention from artists or high-profile clienteles in such a saturated market. How do you stand out in the fashion industry, designing and creating? How do you stand out?
That's a heavy question right there. I don't think that it's a proper answer, but I'm going to give whatever I can. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to approach somebody, to get in their inbox. Matter of fact, I'll say this. I hope y'all understand this one. Stop messaging them. They won't ever see it. Look deeply at their entourage and then start following them. And those are going to be the people that you're going to want to try to send your stuff to. You're going to try to hook up with them. When you hook up with them, they get you to the artists, of the high-profile people. Other than that, you might have to do some of the tactics that I use. I've guerrillaed my way in a lot. I'm not a small fry, so I'm already in the rooms that I need to be in. So sometimes I just come in the room and just, hey, come in. Here, look. This for you right here. Yeah, they started 2,500. He's, damn, bro, my God. And they put that on them, and sometimes that's that. But that's me, and it probably don't work like that for everybody. But to get that attention that you're looking for, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to push yourself. And stop telling yourself tomorrow. Stop telling yourself the first. Stop telling yourself in the morning. Press play is my campaign. I'm Penash Jones. Press play is my campaign. Anything we thinking of right now at this moment, I guarantee you that we're going to start making it tomorrow or tonight. Guarantee you we talking about we going to do a movie. We're going to start shooting that movie next week. We're not letting up no more. Stop being a procrastinator. Stop holding yourself back. You are the key to your own failures. You the one who messed it up. You the one who didn't pay attention. I need you to pay attention. I need you not to be afraid when a person like me come in the room and bark at you. It's a dog-eat-dog world. You seen them commercials and them videos. I got that dog in me. I do. Especially about what I'm after. Especially to save these children, our community, and give a culture to Minnesota through fashion. Through fashion. I'm gonna do all of it through fashion. No matter who likes it or who doesn't approve of me saving everybody. You gotta be evil as hell to oh man, I don't like that dude, Penash. I hate you. Ain't even know I was a dude at first. Just remember, I can't see the negativity in real life. I can't see the hate. I never seen it. I don't even know what the stuff is, man. I'm really focused on what I'm doing. That's why I can't stop. One hell of a year.
One hell of a year.
Yeah, won't stop.
And then now that you said that, I wanted to ask you a few questions about your fashion shows that you've had. So you began with Cold Summer 23, where when you reached out to photographers, had unisex clothing vendors like Craze World and hosted the Black August Luxury Art Show, along with One Minnesota, and the Social Influence Show. What is the meaning behind these shows, or what are you trying to achieve as an experienced a designer and host for this community?
So first I'm gonna say this because I think a lot of people got it messed up. So we're not the host. I'm not a host. I don't host these shows. My partner is not a host. The host who has the microphone is the actual host for the show. Me, I am the curator of One Hell of a Year fashion series. One Hell of a Year is a fashion year. They got Fashion Week, shout out to them to have it. Me, I come to put my people on all year long, so it won't stop. So we will never leave the timeline. So we will never be out of the conversation. So even with Cold Summer 23 was to give y'all the coldest summer you've ever witnessed, to give you the coldest summer that you've ever been through. So reaching out to the designer's job was to pull out the coldest summer that they have lived through. From when you was a child, you used to hang out with your cousins, you at grandma's house, y'all went over here to Lil Wayne came out, Rockefeller and them, or, whoever may have done whatever in those summers, you remember, and it was dope, it was so cold. So that's what we did with Cold Summer 23. We embodied all the summers, but then I walk you through a summer. See, these aren't fashion shows.
No, that's what we gotta hear.
Yeah, you gotta know that today. This way more than a fashion show. Penash putting on heavy productions. So they've said in the last 20 years, and here go me being arrogant, I guess. They say I'm arrogant. I'm just really sure. They said in the last 20 years, nobody has done what I've done with putting on the productions, as how I'm putting them on. So I'll walk you through the whole summer. Like, we got out of school, we went to the party. And then we went to the barbecue on Saturday. And then we went to the club Saturday night. And then Sunday morning, we woke up and we went to church. And then we went to the beach. And then we went everywhere. We even kicked it in the hood for a minute with the dudes and the sisters who got all the money. We was over there with them. That's when Captain Rebel came up to show you that new collection. Wet by Bree took us to the beach. We went to church, known Minneapolis. Like, if I lay this out and show you Cold Summer 23, then you know, matter of fact, I think I need to do it. Cold Summer 23 had his own soul roll from Winnie's House of Soul. Cold Summer 23 had the Drippin' Root as a sponsor. Shout out to Katisha Pearson with the Drippin' Root over there on Minnehaha, South Minneapolis. We had known Minneapolis, the gospel group, the youth choir. It's like 50 of them. They performed for my VIP. We had P. Will, Prince Williams. I encouraged him to perform his new song, Girls Love Ghosts, while we released his collection, Girls Love Ghosts. That was big. That worked out beautifully. We just went through the whole summer as a summer. And then at the end of the summer, what happens all the time at the end of the summer is it's wedding season. So Penash, I dropped luxury wedding dresses and the honeymoon.
And they were all handmade.
Yeah, all handmade, yeah. Black August.
The art show?
It was my birthday.
Really?
Yeah, it was my birthday.
Yeah,
I haven't.
it was.
Yeah. I haven't. Yeah, you was the last one there.
We cut cake and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my birthday. I've never done anything for my birthday, bro. Like, since I've been a kid.
That's
so
fine.
I was like, you know what? Let me throw a fashion show, but you know, diving into what you asking, what is it? What made you? Black August was an art rebellion, bro. From when I was a little kid, like. In 6th grade, I met my first white friends, my first Mexican friends. This was my first time ever hearing rock and roll. I'm from the slum, B. I'm from whoa, above the law, you know, ghetto boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from that NWA. I never knew anything about this kind of music or just the artistry that came behind it. So that was like my rebellion against myself in 6th grade, because I was really finding out who I was. So that's what Black August is about, because Black August is my birthday too. So the art rebellion is where we went to a black art gallery, uptown Minneapolis, Lynn Lake area. We got suited and booted. We put on beautiful tuxedos and evening gowns, and we shopped $500,000 in art from Trace Wild and Justin Hammer.
You said from
Trace Wild
and Justin Hammer.
And Justin Hammer. And then I had some special designers. We did body paint. I dropped my Gothic collection. Man, bro, I really, you know what? The pictures from this, the content from this, y'all gotta see what happened. The next show was One Minnesota. We made history. We was the first fashion show to ever be in a open streets festival. You get what I'm saying? Outdoor festival. We was the first fashion show to ever happen. But then how we did it is what really made the history. We dropped a luxury fashion show in the middle of Broadway, North Minneapolis, in between DuPont and Emerson.
Yep, you have the street shut down for that too.
You feel me? So it's like, what One Minnesota was to make the statement. To make the statement of that we can do this together as One Minnesota. That was to start my initiative. You know what I'm saying? It's to start my philanthropy. It's to let us know that we can actually do this together. We don't have to be so separate. I'm not from here, so I can't see, St. Paul, Minneapolis, Maple Grove, Monticello. I can't see that. I can only see this place as Minnesota. So to me, it's one Minnesota. We have to do this together in order to get where we're going, because we've done great individually. The biggest accomplishments ever individually, right? But what can we do? What can we do as a whole? What can we do as a unit?
And to wrap up everything that we've talked about, how do you see the future of designing specifically for Gen Z, the younger generation that you already are trying to reach out to?
I see it being easy. I see it being a breeze too. All of the things or the ideas that I've probably had throughout my life is everything I can unleash right now. Gen Z is ready for everything that's in my messed up mind. So it'll be easy. It'll be eclectic. It'll be beyond the norm. It'll be just like show number 7. Unlimited.
And did you have anything else that you wanted to say for our viewers, for the people watching? Any last words before we close up?
I wanted to thank everybody that was involved in the coldest winter ever, from the designers to the pop-up security, the vendors, the models. Oh my God, the models, of course. Shout out to each and every last one of y'all. I wish I could name all of y'all. It was so many of y'all. All the new models too. All the models who've been with me from the beginning too. This is where we will show you how to take your creativity to new boundaries. This is a show for Gen Z. Welcome to Penash.